guys are all being recorded. This is an interactive thing, and hopefully it shouldn't last for longer than about 30 minutes. I'm going to do my best to get us out of the phone call by 7:30 your time. There's a couple people who aren't going to be able to make it, but they're still involved. They're still a part of the Market Council. Namely Stuart Forsher, who's going to be leading our financial committee. And so he couldn't make it. And then Ashley Smith, she has some previous engagement, so she's going to try her best to come on. But if not, then we'll record it and we'll post this up there for them to watch later on. How are y'all doing this evening? How did everything go this weekend?
It was really great.
Talk to me about it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't sure. This is an old microphone. But no, I thought it was really good. It was informal, but it was really fun. I had one new coach there, and she seemed to really like it.
Perfect. So what were some things that went well? Maybe even what was maybe one opportunity? Lindsay, you look like you're jumping at this bit.
I just don't want to talk too much.
No, let's get this baby going.
No, I thought it went really well. It was really well organized. There wasn't a lot to do because it was a free event and it was in a great location. Ashley and then whoever picked that place was perfect. I think Ashley and Spencer were very kind to buy donuts and bagels and coffee. So next time, I think we should definitely do that, but maybe everybody kind of pitch in for that just because that was so generous of them. But I think that really helped a little bit just to have a little something there.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, because we had some mingle time, which I think was really great. But just having the food and then Shanta and Ashley did a great job emceeing and all of that. And then definitely the Q&A with Ashley was great. So the live workout was super fun. I mean, everybody was out there doing it. So it was really good.
From what I understand, you guys have some cushion in the bank account. So whenever we get Stuart on, we can ask him what exactly we are working with, and that way we can start setting budgets for future events.
Yeah. Ashley made a poll in the Georgia, I think was it the Georgia Beachbody, y'all? Georgia coaches or something, about did you like this event? Was it, and it seems like everybody liking this type of event. So.
Love it. So are you guys still excited about being a part of the Market Council? Yeah.
I feel a little lost, to be honest.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, just with the Super Saturday, I would have loved to do more, but everyone was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know what needs to be done. So,
okay, we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, Monica. So if at the end of our conversation, though, you still feel like that, speak up so I can make sure I make sure that you get the answer.
Got it.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for doing that. I'm really excited for what's to come, and I think that April Super Saturday event is a great foundation, great benchmark, great launching pad for us to do even bigger and better things in the future. Looking forward to September 23rd and maybe even some events in between time. Because remember, we're not limiting ourselves to just Super Saturday. Community service events, going out and doing fun 5K runs, doing trainings, mastermind events, bringing on families and having family days. The world is our oyster with this. The objective is to build Beachbody brand awareness right in our community. Let people know what we do, how we do it, that we exist, that we are the leaders in health and fitness in the world, and we exist, and we're right here next door to you. That's the objective. In the past, we also had some goals in regards to increasing numbers, increasing butts and seats. And I think I mentioned this at dinner, but the objective for this is to put on the best events. So hopefully this takes some pressure off of the Market Councils as we're talking about, let's get more butts and seats. You did 350 last quarter. Let's do 550 this quarter. We're not going to stretch it out like that, especially as more and more people are wanting to try to do events, and they're doing events in their homes, and that's fine. We want that. But this is where we're going to be sending Carl and Celebrity Trainers and Jeff and anyone from corporate. When we say there's a Market Council in Atlanta, we're sending them to your events. regardless of how many there are. So hopefully that takes some pressure off. So let's talk a little bit more about the Market Council, the different roles and all that good stuff. I posted in our page after our dinner, just based on the conversation, everyone who was in the Market Council, and then loose roles. And so what I have written down for our main 3 members, and we went back and forth, did a lot of asking, wanted to make sure that this was all going to be good. And so our 3 main members leading the charge. And when I say leading the charge, they're like, this is not their event. They're like getting the game plan, scheduling the meeting, like saying, hey, we're doing it this date. Who's coming? What can you do? But this is not their event. This is the Market Council's event. This is everyone's event. And in order for us to continue to put on the best events and really extend Beachbody brand awareness, it really means that everyone has to come together, not just these 3 people. But want to say thanks and announce our 3 main members, Ashley Smith, Lindsay Ann, and Danielle. So thank you guys so much for what you guys are going to do for this council. So kind of already announced what their duties are: delegating, finding locations, setting up Market Council meetings, potential partners, and we'll go over that in more detail. So going down the list from host MCs, and this will switch out very often, guys. So speak up if you're like, hey, I want to host. Speak up. Let's switch this out so it's not just the same people every time, even though they do a fantastic job. Okay, I'm not okay. I want to make sure I make that very clear. I know they do a fantastic job, but if you want to host, if you want to MC, speak up, so we can get you in that position. But the people who are kind of leading this committee are the Flowers, Kim, and she is in my prayers. You guys all know her situation with her son. So she is still on the Market Council. She just couldn't make it. But Kim and Ashley are kind of leading the committee for that. So when I say leading the committee, I mean, go to them if you're interested in emceeing, and also they will be finding volunteers to fill in the gaps too. Meaning, if we're doing recognition, then maybe there's someone else doing that portion. If we're doing team shout outs, maybe there's someone else doing that portion. As a matter of fact, I mentioned the team shout outs because I wanted to make sure I said this. That was something cool that they do in DC, where beforehand, like in the Georgia Beachbody Coaches page, they do, hey, submit your team name either on this particular post or in this file or whatever. And then they have a portion where they do team shout outs. And so they'll say, hey, it's team such and such in the place. And then all the people who are in the building on that team, they make noise, and it's just a fun way to build culture. It's kind of cool. So they are kind of leading the charge for that committee. The culture again is the intro music, outro music, finding a DJ if that's what you guys are into, success wall, and thinking outside the box with a success wall. I've seen people do transformation pictures. I've seen people do leadership ladder. I've seen people do like financial freedom. I've seen all type of successes shown on the success wall. The I Am Team Beachbody, I saw it a lot at this past Super Saturday event where that was what was posted on the success wall. So thinking outside the box, Shakeology samples, energy, or Lord, we don't have energy. Energize, no more Annie. Energize samples, Shakeology balls, things that drive the culture and show what we do and how we do it and the fun that we have, because we just have some fun, y'all. And thinking outside the box with that. So maybe one event is a black tie event where families leave their kids at home, because how often does that happen? And they go and they have adult conversations where we're networking, we're talking about business. So thinking outside the box. But the culture committee, and that is going to be led by Danielle, and she will find some volunteers and all that good stuff to run it with her. Treasurer, that's my girl, Monica. What's up, girl? And Stuart. So that's collecting money, setting up the bank account, which is already set up on PayPal. Stuart has all of the information for us. If there's any charitable contributions, I know that in High Point, every single Super Saturday, they have a charity that they donate to. This past, they donated canned foods to, oh my gosh, the food bank, the local food bank there. and they were giving out raffle tickets for every 2 cans and giving out swag based on the raffle tickets. And I just thought that was a really cool way to tie in our mission. So charitable contributions, managing the Market Council funds and budget, and even the registration table. So you'll find volunteers to help with all this good stuff, but you kind of are leading the charge with that committee. And PR marketing, I have that this is Liz, my girl Kanisha, and Monica, I have you down for this one too. So okay. This is a team effort though, guys. Seriously, like I think that in order for us to really get this baby going and get it out there and get our events seen, it's going to take an effort on all of our part, including me. So I'm into sending emails and all that good stuff, mass emails to like everybody in Georgia, as long as I can do it in a timely manner. But the PR marketing, it's pretty obvious, but creating the social media badges and assets, promo videos, getting people before they leave events to say why they enjoyed that event and why they're coming to the next one, and get promotional stuff to use to promote upcoming events in the future. One thing that I always talk about with other councils is y'all's video that showed all of the upcoming events coming up. Oh my gosh. Like I still talk about that. That was money, guys. And so things like that, to promote events, setting up a registration site. I know that in Tampa, they have a website that they have set up, and it's kind of cool. And they put up their pictures, and they have all their events listed and all that good stuff. If there's a Facebook event page or Eventbrite, setting that up. And really leading the charge on planning the 60 days in advance. So kind of putting it on your calendar that if no one else says anything in the group, that since you're leading this committee, you're the person to kind of say, hey, we're 60 days out. We need to make sure that we're having conversations and we're begin promoting this event. Okay. So that's the PR marketing. Technology, that's my homeboy Stu and Spencer. Spencer really doesn't even know, but he'll find out. But they run the AV equipment, and I believe Peyton said, and I don't want to misspeak, but I believe she said that we're still good to be able to use that equipment. I will confirm that with her, but I believe she said we're still good to use the equipment that she had as far as the AV and setup that we need. And they also will be managing the presentation and equipment and all that good stuff, and finding volunteers. The welcome crew, this is in charge of greeting people, making people feel welcome, introducing people to each other, so no one feels like, oh yeah, I went to Super Saturday and no one even spoke to me. Why do I bring that up? Because that has been mentioned to me before, not with your event, but just with an event. And that's the purpose of these events, to make people feel welcome, to make sure that they know it's not just this computer thing. You're not by yourself at home doing this for an hour a day, but this is real. So you're a part of this family. So I honestly think that this is probably one of the most important committees that there is. And one thing that you guys do great that I share with other market councils is your table that you have. Y'all, that is pioneering, and that is really, really cool. Your little blurbs, that little quote that you gave them, and then that little bracelet that had hope and change and love and peace. I love that. Finding little inexpensive, free ways to make people feel welcome and a part of this family, especially as a guest, especially as a first-time attendee to Super Saturday. So the people in charge of this committee are Mel and Kaylee and Kim. And then, of course, we'll get an amazing volunteer crew around this committee. I think the volunteers enjoy doing this a lot, and this would be something that we can fit them right in without too much training or anything.
Keyshawn, you can add me to that one if you want.
Okay. Consider it done. I got you down, Kanisha.
Yeah.
Okay. And that is it. Those are our committees. So did I explain them well? Are there any lingering questions, concerns?
I just had a question. You mentioned Tampa had some sort of site where they put up photos and all sorts of stuff. Do you mean like a website or is it like a Facebook page?
No, it's a
Okay.
website.
That would be something cool to do. That was like a legit place for I don't know, all the information, but I know that's probably an undertaking.
I am going to look for it. And then what I'll do is I'll post it in the Market Council page because I think that it is kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Okay, so any other lingering questions or like concerns? You still aren't quite sure your role? Okay, so this is how I'm going to end this then. Don't feel like you're stepping on toes. Okay, we're going to have to, all kind of step in and not be nervous about speaking out of turn or any of that. That's how we keep this baby going. So thank you guys again for everything you guys do and for your commitment to this Market Council and for your commitment to ending the trend of obesity, starting right in our backyards. That's the mission. That's the goal for this council. And I think that we have an amazing group of leaders on this council that together we're just going to blow this baby up. So I'm going to be here every step of the way. I'm a part of the Market Council too. So thank you guys so much. And hey, 12 minutes early. That's how you awesome. Get it done. All right. I will post this recording in the page as well as the Tampa Bay Market Council website. And if you don't have any questions today, you have some later on, message me. Throw them in the page and we'll get them answered. Thanks again.
Is there a regular meeting or anything like that? Or is it just kind of as things come up? Like, is there something I should put on my calendar, like every whatever night or every other night or every other week?
If you guys feel like that's beneficial, I know that other councils meet at least one time a month. Just, hey, what's the pulse in the field? Do we need a training? Do we need a meetup? Do we need a mastermind? Do we need a training, a Zoom training even, where it's not even meeting up locally? So I would encourage you guys to get together at least once a month to discuss what's going on if there's a need for an event.
Okay.
I think maybe Lindsay and me and Ashley can throw out a date or two for the next month and get together. What do you think?
I was thinking about maybe putting a poll in the page and then y'all just vote on what day of the week is good.
Love it. Oh, you guys just reminded me of one more thing. You mentioned at dinner that you were interested in maybe putting together a volunteer page or adding the volunteers in the Market Council page. What were your guys' thoughts on that? Did you still want to move forward and add them to the Market Council page?
I think right now we should maybe just kind of like figure out what we're doing. And
okay. I agree.
Good base going and then,
I agree.
Just because I don't want them to come in and then we kind of are still figuring our roles and kind of how we're going to move forward. But I think definitely after the September Super Saturday, we should definitely have them, or even before if we're getting them to work with us. But
okay. Yeah. And maybe it's even in the event page. Like if we decide to do like an event planning page, then we can add them to that. And that way it'll end with Super Saturday.
Yeah. That would be good too.
Did I cut someone off? No? Okay, I thought I heard someone starting to talk. Okay, y'all. Well, thank you. This is going to be awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.